Okay, picture this. You're on a ship, maybe a plane, and things go really, really wrong. What do you yell? What's the actual word that cuts through everything?
It's a great question, isn't it? Because in those moments, it's not just about shouting help. There's a whole system.
A specific language, almost. And that's what we're getting into today, right? These emergency signals. Mayday, SOS, Pan-Pan, Securité.
Exactly. We're going to unpack what they mean, where they came from. Some origins are pretty surprising, and crucially, why getting them right is so important.
Yeah, because understanding this stuff, it's not just for sailors or pilots. It tells you a lot about how, clear communication can literally be life or death.
Absolutely. It's about precision under pressure. A fascinating system.
So let's start with the big one, the one everyone sort of knows from films, Mayday.
Right, Mayday. It's the international voice call for distress. Voice radio, specifically.
And it means immediate, life-threatening danger.
Precisely. Grave and imminent danger. We're talking catastrophic engine failure, a fire you can't control, sinking fast, a really severe medical emergency on board. The worst-case scenarios.
Okay, but the name Mayday.
Yeah.
It sounds English, but I read that the origin wasn't actually English.
That's right. It's one of those great bits of trivia. It actually comes from the French.
French? Real?
Yeah, from Mayday, help me, or maybe Venez Mayday, come help me.
Huh. So how did a French phrase become the English-sounding standard?
Well, the story goes, back in the 1920s, a senior radio officer in London, Frederick Stanley Mockford, needed a distress word.
Okay.
He needed something that would be easily understood by everyone, pilots and ground crews, especially over noisy radio, and crucially, wouldn't be confused with ordinary chat.
And Maydays sounds a bit like Mayday.
Exactly, particularly English speakers. It was distinct, easy to say, easy to recognize, even if French wasn't your first language. So Mayday stuck.
Makes sense. So grave danger, like the examples you gave, engine failure, midair, fire at sea, collision.
Yep. Life literally hanging in the balance.
And how do you actually use it? Is it just shouting Mayday?
There's a strict protocol.
Yeah.
You say it 3 times clearly over the radio. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday.
3 times? Why 3?
It helps cut through noise, prevents confusion, confirms it's a genuine distress call, not just a stray word or an accidental transmission. It grabs attention immediately.
Okay, so Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Then what?
Then you identify yourself. This is flight ABC 123, or this is sailing vessel Neptune. Then a very brief description of the emergency.
Like Mayday, 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 this is flight 123, engine fired, descending rapidly. Something like that.
Exactly that. Clear, concise information. Location, nature of distress, intentions as possible, number of people on board, just the critical facts.
It conveys this absolute, undeniable urgency.
It has to. When that call comes in, it triggers a massive response.
Yeah.
Rescue coordination centers, air traffic control, everyone snaps into action based on that one word. There's just no time for maybes.
Okay, so that's the top-tier voice call. What about the other famous one, SOS?
SOS, the classic. The Morse code signal.
Dot, 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 dash, 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 dot, dot, dot.
That's the one. Die from my cine.
Now, I always thought, like probably loads of people, that it stood for something. Save our souls. Save our ship.
That's the really common misconception, and it's a great example of a backronym. People invented those meanings after the fact.
No way, so it doesn't actually stand for anything.
Nope, nothing specific. Our sources are clear on this. It was chosen purely for its simplicity and distinctiveness in Morse code.
So just easy to tap out and unlikely to be mistaken for anything else.
Exactly. Think about it. 3 dots, 3 dashes, 3 dots. It's a very clear rhythmic pattern. Germany adopted it first around 1905 and became international shortly after in 1906. Pure practicality.
And when would you use SOS instead of Mayday?
Primarily when voice communication isn't an option.
Yeah.
Maybe the radio's out, maybe you can't speak.
So you could flash it with a light.
Yep. Or tap it out on wreckage, write it large on a beach. Any way you can transmit that pattern. It's the universal nonverbal distress signal.
That's a key difference then. Mayday is voice. SOS is code, essentially.
Right. And that code transcends language barriers. Dot, 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 dash, 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 dot, dot, dot means the same urgent plea everywhere. It's quite ingenious, really.
Okay, moving down the urgency scale a bit, what about Pan-Pan? It sounds similar to Mayday.
It does sound a bit similar, which is why pronunciation is key. It's Pan-Pan. Pan-Pan. And yes, it signals urgency, but crucially not immediate life-threatening danger.
So serious, but not Mayday-level serious.
Exactly. Think of it as an urgent situation.
Yeah.
Something's wrong, you need attention or assistance, but lives aren't in imminent peril yet.
And the origin. Also French. like Mayday.
It is. It comes from the French word pan, which means breakdown.
Ah, okay, that fits perfectly, like a mechanical breakdown.
Precisely. Mechanical problems, losing your navigation systems, maybe a minor injury on board that needs advice but isn't critical, running low on fuel but not about to ditch.
So still needs attention, but not the all-hands-on-deck Mayday response.
Right. It allows authorities to understand the level of urgency. The sources gave an example like, Pan-Pan, Pan-Pan, Pan-Pan. This is vessel Blue Horizon. Lost propulsion near Goa coast. Need towing assistance.
You can hear the difference. Urgent, needs help, but not, we're sinking right now.
And that distinction is vital for managing resources. You don't want to launch a full-scale rescue for a situation that needs a towboat. Pan-Pan ensures the right level of response, keeping Mayday reserved for the truly dire emergencies.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So we have Mayday for disaster, SOS for nonverbal disaster, Pan-Pan for urgent problems. What's left? Securité.
Securité. Pronounced Securité. This one's different again. It's not about distress or even urgency on your vessel or aircraft.
It's more like a warning or information.
Exactly. It's a safety message. Navigational warnings, weather alerts, things other vessels or aircraft in the area need to know about for their safety.
So if there's a sudden storm warning or maybe a large floating container reported in a shipping lane.
That's precisely it. The example was something like, Securité, 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 all stations, this is Mumbai radio, gale warning in effect for North Arabian Sea. See? It's information broadcast to everyone.
It's proactive, helping prevent emergencies rather than responding to them.
Perfectly put. It's about maintaining overall safety by sharing important information. Hazard warnings, meteorological updates, things like that.
So Mayday, Pan-Pan, Securité, this clear hierarchy, it really highlights why messing with them, like making a false Mayday call, would be so bad.
Oh, absolutely catastrophic. It's highly illegal for a very good reason. False Maydays carry heavy penalties, fines, even prison time.
Because it wastes resources.
Massively. Think about it. A Mayday call triggers an expensive, complex response. Rescue aircraft are scrambled, ships are diverted, personnel are put on high alert. If it's a hoax, all those resources were pulled away from potentially real emergencies.
And it could delay help for someone who genuinely needs it.
Exactly. It erodes trust in the system and genuinely puts lives at risk. It's taken incredibly seriously.
And for planes, besides the voice calls, isn't there also an electronic signal pilots can use? Something with the transponder.
Ah, yes. Good point. In aviation, pilots can set their transponder's squawk code to 7700.
Squawk 7700, what does that do?
The transponder sends signals to air traffic control radar, showing the plane's identity and altitude. Setting it to 7700 is a standard code that instantly flags the aircraft as having an emergency.
So it's like a silent Mayday for the controllers.
Pretty much. It gets their attention immediately, even before a voice call might be possible, or if radio communication is lost. It's another layer in the safety system.
And that idea of repetition we talked about with Mayday saying it 3 times, does that apply to Pan-Pan and Securité too?
Yes, it's standard practice for all 3 voice procedures. Pan-Pan, 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 and Securité, Securité, Securité.
Same reason. Clarity, cutting through noise, making sure it's understood.
Exactly the same reasons. The repetition acts as a flag, listen up, this is important, and it's not accidental. It removes ambiguity.
So just to kind of wrap our heads around the levels again, Mayday and SOS are top tier life or death.
Highest urgency, yes. Imminent danger.
Then Pan-Pan is urgent, needs attention, but not immediately life-threatening. Moderate urgency.
Correct. A breakdown, a problem needing assistance.
And Securité is purely informational. Safety warnings, navigational heads up, lowest level but still important for prevention.
You've got it. It's a really well thought out hierarchy. Each signal triggers a specific understanding and response level.
It really is impressive when you lay it out like that. The clarity, the structure, it's all designed for function under extreme stress.
Absolutely. And it underscores how vital that precision is. The right word at the right time, understood universally. It makes all the difference.
Which really brings us back to the core idea, doesn't it? This whole system is a testament to how much clear, standardized communication matters when the stakes are high.
It really is. It shows how carefully designed protocols can save lives by ensuring everyone is on the same page, instantly.
So here's something to think about, maybe mull over after this. We've seen how critical this kind of clarity is in emergencies at sea or in the air. Where else? Where else in our, everyday lives could adopting even a little bit of this kind of standardized, super clear communication make a big difference? Maybe not life or death, but in terms of safety or just efficiency or avoiding misunderstandings. Think about work or family or anywhere signals get crossed. Could we benefit from our own simpler versions of Mayday or Securité?
That's a really interesting thought to leave people with. Where could that level of clarity help us?